is that such a workout? Okay, so I want to give a little reading update. Last night I did finish Dederer by Claudia Dey. I really took my time with this one. I think I was reading it for about 3 weeks. I feel like while I was reading this, I was holding my breath or something. It's just a very harrowing read. On the front, it says, "We are inside a howl." Yes, this entire novel was like an extended howl. Not at all in a bad way. I actually really enjoyed this book. It's about family dynamics, largely the father-daughter relationship, but not just that. We also have mother-daughter, we have husband-wife, we have sister-sister. Also, what I found interesting about this book that I want to point out is that it does ruminate a lot on this idea that writers are monsters. I've talked about this before. This is a common theme in many pieces of writing, which is funny because writers are the ones that are writing these things. For example, I feel like I always reference this article from the Paris Review, "What Do We Do with the Art of Monstrous Men" by Claire Dederer. That's now been extended into a full book, except they took out, I think, monstrous men. That essay also refers to artists, writers as incredibly selfish people, monsters, people who take from others in order to create their art. I also saw this in the book Angel by Elizabeth Taylor. This book is pretty much about an awful person whose name is Angel, and she's a writer. And I remember the intro of this book. This intro was written by Hilary Mantel, author of Wolf Hall. What Taylor does is to de-romanticize the process of writing and show it to us close up, so that we are aware of that if 10% of the process is exhilaration, the rest is tedium, backache, and the fear of failure. That whatever the impulse to art, however little or great the gift, a cast iron vanity and a will to power are needed to sustain it. Writers are monsters, she is telling us. How else would you be reading this book? Said by Hilary Mantel, a writer. The father in this book, Paul, he is an author. He publishes a book called Daughter. The daughter, the narrator of this book, Mona, she's also a writer. I don't want to give spoilers, but I will say Paul is one of the most self-serving characters I've ever encountered. He's very manipulative, he's a narcissist, and it seems that all the women who are in Paul's life, everyone's life revolves around Paul's writing and is affected by his writing and his need to write. And what does he want or need to write about? Pain. The pain of others. So on page 177, Mona says, "I knew someday I would read the detail I had told Paul at the restaurant," in one of his future books, as if he had pulled that detail from the sensitive sprawl of his mind. Wes, another character, would tell me to be careful when I met with Paul. Wes would remind me that I was a writer too, to keep certain thoughts to myself so that Paul couldn't use them. And then on page 187, this is from Paul's perspective, and it's in reference to something traumatic that happens to one of the characters. He feels sad for that character, but also he says he would never have an experience so transforming and sad, and he feels envious about that. He cried for all the life he would never feel and never know. He would never know life as deeply and cruelly as blank had, because he cannot use those experiences as fodder for his books. He didn't know pain the way blank did, and this knowledge made blank superior to him. Another piece of evidence, Mona says, Paul was speaking to me, but in the echo chamber of his car. He was also speaking to himself, to a novel in progress. He was practicing feeling. So yeah, I do think this book is about family dynamics largely, but also about writers as monsters. Anyways, guys, it's the weekend. I have some books I want to unhaul. I think I'm gonna go and donate them. I'll show you guys what they are. Starting with books I'm unhauling simply because I already own another copy of them. Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. I have this exact same copy. I have no idea how I ended up with two. This is one that I did not annotate in. Yes, I'm gonna donate this. I also have Curtis Sittenfeld's You Think It, I'll Say It. I really like this short story collection. I think it's so underrated. One of the best short story collections I've ever read. I don't really like this cover, and I have another cover. It's the hardback version, and it looks like this. If you guys have not read this and you're looking for good short stories, I would recommend this. I also already have a copy of The Brothers Karamazov. I have the Michael R. Katz translation. This is the Volonkonsky translation. I know people ride hard for the Valenkonsky pair. I have read another book translated by them. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was The Idiot. I will donate this and hopefully someone picks it up. And then books I am getting rid of because I did not like them. First of all, I picked this up years ago, I think. I read maybe like 10 pages and I just could not move forward. For me, it was just really cringe, and I feel really bad saying that because these are personal essays. It just was not my style. Did not resonate with me. If you enjoyed this, I totally respect it. I don't think any less of anyone for enjoying this book. And then I have When We Cease to Understand the World by Benjamin Labatut. This is considered creative nonfiction. The characters in this book are real people. They are geniuses, male geniuses. And that's the thing. It was just very male-centric. There's only one character in this book, and she is an underage girl. And one of the other characters has a totally inappropriate relationship with her. And I'm unsure if that actually took place. But I know the characterization of that young girl is completely fabricated. Little girls don't act or think like that in regards to old men. I just found her depiction as totally gratuitous and perverse. Brutes by Distate. Wait, why is this in the pile? I didn't love this book, but I didn't dislike it that much, so I'm gonna keep it. This might shock some people, but really didn't like this. They were rhyming the word dong with something. And then Dogs of Summer, Andrea Abreu. You know, I love unlikable female characters. I love gross female characters. I like raw, real books about girlhood, and I just found this a bit too gratuitous for me. I did not even like their friendship. Everyone who told me to try Brambleberry Crisp, you guys were right. I think this could be the best flavor. It says oven toasted oat streusel with sweet tart brambleberry jam of blackberries and black currants layered throughout vanilla ice cream. This is the creamiest one I've tried so far. I think I'm feeling White on White by Ayşegül Savaş. I'm unsure if I'm saying that correctly. Oh, by the way, this is my TBR stack for February. These are the books I'm hoping to start or finish in February. Let's go with this. It is a sharp exploration of the narrow divide between happiness and resentment, creativity and madness, and the experience of what it means to be truly vulnerable, laid bare. This has been on my TBR for a few years now, so I'm excited to finally get around to it. I think I'm gonna go to bed now. I have a tension headache, which I am prone to. But I wanted to ask your opinion about something. As you can see here over at my desk, this is where I do work and I do some writing, sometimes reading over here. However, there's no light source. And when I'm sitting in the chair facing the wall, it gets quite dark and it just causes eye strain. So I want to get a lamp in this corner. I actually had ordered a Herman Miller lamp. It's one of the lantern lamps. I can't remember what it's called, but it was a small one and I thought it would fit perfectly in this corner. But then they delayed the delivery by maybe like 6 weeks. So I was like, okay. But then they delayed the delivery again by another 6 weeks. So I just canceled. I want to put a lamp in this corner and I've been searching floor lamps and it's just really hard to find a functional but good looking floor lamp, I feel. Obviously, like the Herman Miller lantern lamps are gorgeous. They're also amazingly expensive. The reason why it's so dark in my room is actually because of that. This is a tulip lampshade. It's covering my actual light. It's a pretty thick fabric. It's like cotton fabric, so it's pretty dim in here. I'm just asking if you guys know of any attractive lamps, putting it out there. There is a Herman Miller store here. Actually, I think there's two, and there are other stores, I think Design Within Reach, that stock Herman Miller. So maybe I'll go check them out. But also, do I need to buy an expensive lamp? Do I? Yes. We have to sleep. I'm about to leave the house. I have to mail something. Oh my god, this is heavy. I'm gonna mail this to my friend. It's just some skincare I thought she would like and some perfumes that aren't really my style, but are her style. If you're curious, I'm wearing Roman's Salty Peach on my lips with this Fenty lip balm on top, Latte Lips. I think there's like a winter weather storm watch going on, but it looks very sunny and warm outside, so I'm just gonna wear my trench coat today again. I might go shopping for some workout clothes. I've decided that I want to work out again. I used to cycle a lot in Korea. Prior to that, I would go to spin class, and I also had a gym membership. I don't know, in the past year, it's not that I was tired, I just became a little bit bored with working out. I feel like I should start again. I'm not really the type to thrive in a gym though, so I might research some actual classes. I like spin class because it's kind of fun, I feel, and because you're in a class, it holds you accountable for actually finishing the workout. I don't even know where to buy workout clothes. Lululemon? I know there's like an Aloe. Guys, I stopped at the queening counter in there and I smelled Sissa. I fear I will never get that smell out of my head. It smelled so good. I gasped when I smelled it, and the worker was like, I know. It's snowing, guys. I can see a little girl playing in the snow, and she has like a full pink, I think, snowsuit. Very cute. I can't say I also want to go out there though. Anyways, it's about 5 o'clock now, which means I'm gonna change into my pajamas. I bought a Valentine's gift for myself. This is Queening by Mind Games. This is insane. I follow Holly, Parfums de Holly, on TikTok, and we have pretty similar taste in perfume, so I always look to her for recommendations. She's never missed so far. It is gorgeous, ethereal, airy, vanilla. If you're a vanilla girl, but you feel like you can't wear your vanilla perfumes when it gets warm because maybe they're too heavy, you need this. And on the skin, it just blooms.